Oops, I haven't made a video in a bit. I was doing finals. Then I lost my Premiere Pro license for like a week. Then I just got lazy and didn't record the video. uh, anyways, Yoyo Factory released another shutter. I don't know, maybe Gentry Stein just needs more bread, but there's so many different flavors of the shutter. At this point, the shutter is about to become a subcategory. In 2013, the Drop Near started the competition bimetal subcategory. That same year, we got the shutter, which started the shutter subcategory. Am I exaggerating a bit? Yes. But I don't really like the shutter much, so I'd never really care. So, if I don't like it, why do I bring it out for videos? Well, it's simple. I see the shutter as the most baseline, average yo-yo. In my eyes, there isn't a better example of a standard yo-yo. The shutter it's kind of the definition of a jack of all trades in yo-yoing. I'm basically formally saying that it isn't shit, but also it isn't particularly good. It's like eating a sandwich that consists of turkey, white bread, and nothing else. It's not bad. It's just average. So when I do my comparisons, I'm going to be doing them to the average yo-yo. Granted, there have been a bunch of variations of the shutter released over the years. The base shutter has gotten a couple of revisions itself, like kind of weight tweaks and I think a couple spec tweaks, but the shutter also does see straight up outright redesigns, like the shutter wide angle, which famously known as the schwangle. The schwangle is basically what happens if you hit print on the CNC machine if you stretched the profile of the shutter in Photoshop. The schwangle's pretty popular too, but I've never really played with it, so I can't really speak for it. Then Yoyo Factory made the bimetal shutter, famously known as the Butter. That was designed by Sus Yo-Yo Mechanics. I don't remember the Butter particularly fondly. I owned one a while ago, but I didn't like it much, so I sold it. Yoyo Factory also made a 5A shutter, which was just a shutter with a finger spin hub. I've heard nothing about it, and I regularly forget about its existence. Anyways, as you can tell, there are a lot of versions of the shutter. Usually when they drop, the different versions of the shutters have had varying levels of hype around them. The wide angle had some hype, and the Butter especially had a lot of hype, because there was a lot of things going on, and a lot of people were like, why isn't there a bimetal shutter? But, you know, when the JDS shutter hit the scene, it was to a resounding, oh, it's another shutter. And when I say hit the scene, I mean it quietly showed up in some people's laps as a mystery box yo-yo. The JDS shutter didn't even get a full public release at first. It was released to people in a mystery box bundle with the IQ. People who were subscribed to Yoyo Factory's newsletter got an email that had a bunch of Black Friday deals and announcements, and the mystery box was one of them. So, yeah, I didn't even figure out the JDS shutter existed from Yoyo Factory first. I figured out about it from some Reddit post. That's how most people figured out about the JDS shutter. This Reddit post showed off the IQ and JDS shutter with pictures that basically told me two things. One, this shutter had more rim weight. And two, it was designed by JDS. Not much else, but it was enough to have me fiending. I mean, it was designed by the Japanese, so it's gotta be good. Then Yoyo Factory officially announced it like a week or two later, while also adding that it'd drop later that weekend or something. I don't really remember. So, specs of the JDS shutter put it at less than 65 grams, less than 45 millimeters wide, and 55 millimeters in diameter. So anyways, I bought one on Black Friday. I'll put up the spec differences on screen right now, but like the Japanese basically just gave the shutter fat rims. So yeah, JDS really wanted to pack these rims. Maybe they could have focused that way even more if they manufactured this yo-yo out of 7068 or 7075, but this is all packed into a standard little 6061 aluminum package for $60. But, you know, I like the JDS shutter. It's a good follow-up to the shutter. I actually kind of think it's pretty much just a straight upgrade to the shutter. And here, I will tell you how. So, I made a graph. I don't know if it really says anything cohesive, but it's fun and it helps visualize what I'm trying to say. So anyways, like I said before, I think the JDS shutter is just a straight up upgrade over the base shutter, like in almost every way. It has a sharper acceleration curve, it has more power, is more stable, pretty much everything. So let's explain that speed first, okay? So the JDS shutter likes to go fast. I won't say that the JDS shutter is crack-addled Japanese player fast. It is slightly reluctant in that respect, but so basically it's fast, but it's not breakneck speeds fast. In standard combos, this means you may find that you're playing slightly more quickly than you normally do. In rail or speed combos, you may find that you're going fast, but not quite wanting to push the speed as hard as, like, I don't know, a hummingbird or something. The added power combined with the speed would also generally mean that the JDS shutter is difficult to control, but in practice, the JDS shutter is sort of just more than the base shutter. This is where that straight upgrade idea comes into play, kinda. It's more my opinion that it's a straight upgrade, I guess. After all, if you don't really like or care for that added speed, power, or stability, then it isn't an outright upgrade. I get that. But the JDS shutter can just handle rougher play, and according to Jordan, I am a very rough player.
You mean?
So I say it's a straight upgrade. It's actually why I haven't really compared it to the base shutter too much, but okay, I am legally obligated to talk about the response in this yo-yo. I play with thick string. Those fat strings just got that whip that I like. People all have their preferences, and usually those preferences mean a yo-yo with a 4.5mm gap width has good, tight binds with thick string. Not the JDS shutter. Seriously, half the tricks I recorded for this video were just ruined because I'm anal about getting the bind. It makes recording trick circles painful. But that may be because it came stock with Yoyo Factory white pads. I wish I could show that without taking apart the yo-yo, but I'm not going to do that. But I don't know. I haven't tested swapping pads, so I can't really say. I'm not about to take apart a yo-yo and spend 20 minutes scraping out response pad adhesive just so I can land a bind in a trick circle. Because that's really the only issue, the whole slippy bind thing. Because that's really the only time the whole slippy bind issue is a problem for me. Normally, I don't mind a little slip in my bind. It's actually why I almost always chuck summer tires in my CLYWs. So yeah, enjoy the JDS shutter for everything aside from trick circles. Or just try really hard with your binds. It's really not that hard. Anyways, that's all I gotta say. I got hella stuff coming soon, so, expect some videos. I may stagger some releases just so there's content to watch while I work on other things. But just to leak a couple things, I am working on a documentary. I am planning another documentary with a company that has messaged me about doing one. And I have been sent another yo-yo for review, and I got the Yo-Yo Recreation mystery box. So look forward to those videos. I'm going to stagger some uploads just so there's stuff to watch while I work on all these things. But anyways, thanks for watching. Adios.